up, everybody? Welcome back for another episode of Conan Exiles. I am the Great Stevo, and wow, that's all I can say. It has been an astounding week and a half for Conan Exiles. I mean, there's just been so much content drop, news, there's been so many previews, and just wow doesn't even begin to sum it all up. But before we get into today's video, I just want to sit and say, you guys, I love you guys. You guys are just completely awesome right now. You guys are killing everything that I've put up. I'm just blown away at how many views and everything you guys are putting out on my videos that I put up. Thank you again for all your support. It really does mean a lot to see your guys' reaction to the things that I'm putting up, and as long as I see that you guys still want the content, I'll continue to do it. And before we get into today's video, if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and just drop down there and just destroy that subscribe button. And if you already don't follow me on my Twitch or Twitter, I'll leave the links down in the description below. Just head on over on my Twitch. I will be doing a 24-hour stream, if not longer, if I can manage it. There will be most definitely a 24-hour stream when I get Conan Exiles for the Xbox One. And if I can manage it, I will do a longer stream than 24 hours. It just depends on the hype and everything that's going on my channel when I'm doing the stream. So just head on over. I hope to see you guys when I go live, and just head on over to Twitter and drop me a follow on there and turn on your notifications, and then you'll know exactly when I go live on Twitch, and then we'll go from there. It really does mean a lot to me how much you guys are showing support and everything, and yeah, let's get right on into today's video. So I have a load, just massive amount of things that I want to go over and share with you guys. A lot of it you probably already know, but some of you out there may not know. So I'm going to go ahead and cover what I think is needed to know. So a few things that have happened. There has been confirmation of the pricing for Conan Exiles on Xbox One. There has been confirmation of how private servers are going to be set up for Conan Exiles on Xbox One. There has been ratings released for Conan Exiles when it hits Xbox One, and just several other things, but I will get into those a little bit later. Right now I'm just going to start with the little bit older news from last week, and then go from there in order up to the dev stream of the official Xbox One gameplay that was delivered yesterday on Friday. The first thing I want to go over today is some of the things with the new coming expansion, and one of them, when I was streaming, somebody asked me how crucial the temperature system is going to be when it's implemented on the 16th, and I found this, and it just makes it that much easier. You get to see what is actually going to happen with this temperature system and how it's going to affect you when it's added in. So let's get right on into reading all this. The temperature system has been added to the game, which will add a more immersive experience to the whole survival game genre. I mean, it just gives you that experience. It's more important to mention that the temperature gauge will change as it is affected by various clothing and food items that you consume. And then later on it goes on to say the different types of each kind of the temperature inflictions you can get. Being too cold will start giving you debuffs, such as your first stage of freezing increases your hunger, requiring you to eat more often. The second stage of freezing decreases your maximum health and adds visual impairment. I would assume it'd be the same kind of visual impairment that they've added, where with your stamina depletion, everything will get a little bit blurry and hazy. So that's what I'm assuming that the visual impairment would be. Your third stage of freezing decreases your consciousness, which will become more important with both drinking alcohol and eventually being able to knock out other players. And then your final stage of freezing infliction will be frostbite. Players start to lose their health and take damage over time that they remain in this frostbite stage on the temperature gauge. And it says you may notice other physical effects from being exposed to freezing weather. So it seems like there's other things that you may experience besides what they've got listed here, and they've left that up to us to experience on our own. Now for the other side of the temperature gauge, the being too warm, like when you're in the desert type thing. Alright, so you get debuffs for being too warm. Your first stage of overheating increases your thirst, requiring you to drink more often. That's just a given, that's just how most are. Your second stage of overheating reduces your carrying capacity and adds visual impairment. Again, I'm guessing it'd be the hazy, blurry stamina visual impairment, and that's pretty cool in a way that it affects your carrying capacity. I guess, you know, you get too hot or whatever, you end up not wanting to carry as much as you could if you wasn't affected by this overheating. Third stage of overheating reduces your stamina regeneration time, and then your final stage is like your final stage of freezing. You start to take damage over time. Then they go on to describe down here, items and placeables have a role to play in the temperature system as well. Different armor sets have different levels of temperature adjustment. Fur armor will make you warmer, light cloth armors will keep you cooler. So in the desert, you might want to wear the hyena armor, and in the new region that they're adding, the highlands, you will want to wear the fur armor to keep you warmer. And then also, other things added into this temperature system are open flames such as torches, braziers, and campfires will also affect the temperature of players. Be careful about placing too much fires close together, you might overheat. So even in the northern region that they are adding, it is still possible to overheat if you place too many torches or things with open flame. And then the Highland style buildings, wood and black ice, have a heating effect, while desert style buildings, sandstone, brick, reinforced stone, will offer a cooling effect. So build wisely. So if you're in the northern region, it's probably not going to be the smartest thing to use sandstone, brick, or reinforced stone, which I don't know, maybe you could use those if you prefer to build those up in the northern region and add a crap ton of torches or open flame placeables in it. It may work just as good, but we'll just have to see. So new temperature system, love it. It's going to add more immersive feeling to the game of having to survive. To go along with this temperature system, they also put out a video last week. It was a trailer for the northern biome. So the trailer starts off showing all this stuff in the desert that we've already been given, that we already know about, and talking about how we've been in the desert for so long, and now here comes this new region, and it adds about 70% more to the already existing player map. And the scenery, the materials, all this new stuff just looks amazing, and it's added into the game. It's not a separate map. It adds to what you've already got. You don't have to choose, well, I want to play here or I want to play here. You get to choose. It's all on the same map. You can visit it all without changing maps, servers, or anything like that. Looks like we got new enemies to face. There's been over 300 items added just for this expansion, and you can see right there was the frost giants, and there's more dungeons being added. I think they said there were 2 more dungeons that were being added in this expansion. Right here you see the Black Keep. It's a multi-level dungeon, and I just cannot wait to get my hands on this and just take a group of friends and go to these dungeons and just see what they have to offer. And right there is an example of the temperature system being too cold and they were wearing light armor. And then here they're wearing fur armor in the desert. But there's an example of what you may want to wear when you're in the desert and what you may want to wear while you're in the northern region. And like I said, they've added over 300 new items. Right here are some of the new items that they have added: a stove and an oil press. Fish traps for fishing and getting fish for the oil trap. I'm not too sure what the oil will be used for. They've added beehives. They've added beer. That's something we've been waiting on. Beer. You can't be a barbarian without beer. And you can see here that after drinking so much beer, you'll start to get visual impairments and side effects. Right here you see them using the new building textures, and see you got black ice, and it's all equivalent to the same building structures that you had, the tier 2 and tier 3 in the desert, but this offers your insulation for the northern region. Also, they've added some more customizations for your characters. Now we can have beards on the 16th, which is amazing. Also, they have added a new god, Ymir, the Frost Father, and let me just say, he looks badass. I cannot wait to try him out on this new expansion. And yeah, that is what you have to look forward to on the 16th, whether you're a PC player, or a first-time Xbox player on the 16. That is the expansion that is coming, and it just looks amazing, and I just cannot wait. Like many of you guys, I myself, I've been messing around here and there on PC with it, but it just hasn't been as much of a fun experience for me because I don't have all the friends that I do on Xbox that play on PC also. So I've been doing single player most part of the time, except for on their test live servers when they bring something else out so that I can try it. That way I can better relay the info to you guys. That way I've had first-hand experience playing with it. But other than that, I think once this launches on the Xbox, we are going to just smash it. The Xbox community has proven with these early access games that we love them, especially the survival ones. The survival genre is starting to massively take off across the board. If you look, almost every game coming out lately is a survival game. You have Dark and Light, you have Ark, you have Conan Exiles, you have Fortnite, you have it. The list just goes on and on. Survival games are at their peak right now, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. A couple other things I want to cover. As of right now, I talked and asked the developers because PC had a couple options when this came to early access. They could either just get the regular edition or they could get a Barbarian edition, which came with a ton of digital goodies and a physical piece of content, which was a Conan Exiles shirt. Unfortunately, at this time, they said there will be no plans of a Barbarian edition for this early release on Xbox, but in my opinion, that could just mean they're waiting until the game fully launches. That way they have something to offer on different packages. Like you have your standard game, you have your next tier of packaging that has contents with it. So maybe that's what they're holding off on. Who knows? We'll just have to see in early 2018 when the game fully launches what we get then for Xbox users. Mounts. I see this asked almost every tweet back to back to back on Conan Exiles' Twitter page, and they've said it in live streams and they've said it on Twitter over and over. They are working on the mounts. They will be added in time. They have came up with some models and everything, but they're not to the point where they're fully optimized to meet their standards. They don't want to add in and it be broken later or something that needs to be fixed later to go along with something else. They want to make sure they are 100% optimized to their standards, so there will be no time to take out and go back and re-optimize them later. They want to make sure they work properly. And if you guys are expecting something like Ark, I don't see it being to that extent. I do not see you being able to get on a wolf or an elephant and go and just kill things and harvest and get things like that. I don't see it being like that. I see these mounts being implemented into like pulling around workloads of stuff, maybe not actually harvesting, but just being able to put a wagon of some sort like to an elephant or to a horse and carrying more than what your weight can. And they have said something about, you know, being able to use them to attack other settlements or tribe settlements, whatever. I'm still kind of confused on how that would work, but maybe that's why it's taking so long, because they're trying to get the coding right where it can be used for those situations and not just going out riding these mounts and finding random players just out harvesting or something and using them to kill people like that. Maybe the coding is just not specified enough right now to separate between settlement and random person out in the wilderness. Who knows? I have complete faith in these guys. They have not given me a reason yet to doubt anything that they are working on. So, and they're not giving us ETAs, which in my book, that's great. I don't need an ETA. Just surprise me when it's done, it's there. Don't keep telling me that it's coming this date and then you have to push it back. That sucks. It was an ETA, but it still hypes your community up, and these guys don't do that. They just tell you they are working on it and it will be ready when it's ready. So they get an A+ for that. They're not overhyping their community with certain things. Alright, a small look into where their roadmap is with their battle mechanics. Joe Bylos during the last dev stream said that this was their, not set in stone, but sort of their rough draft of where they're going with their battle mechanics, their combat mechanics, which have been implemented in this first expansion is a small step on working on the battle mechanics and combat mechanics. You'll see the dodge that you can do left to right or back. They've taken sprint out of combat. That way people can't just sit there and sprint around people while they're in combat. You will automatically sheath your weapon if you try to use sprint now. But that roadmap that he gave us, the rough one, was they wanted to work with the core controls first. They wanted to make sure that got completely optimized and ironed out before they went any further. So that is what they're working on right now on battle mechanics. Then they said that it would be onto combo attacks that you could chain together in combat, and then later on it would be onto the NPC attacks, trying to integrate the combo attacks into the NPC coding. So they are giving us a roadmap of the development process for combat mechanics, and that way we know what to expect, and so that we're not completely lost and kept in the dark. Then this week on Wednesday, we got this teaser trailer from Conan Exiles, more in depth, telling us about everything that has happened since launch in January on PC, how far they've came, how many exploits they've squashed out using this community promoted program, the Exploit Hunters, which I did a video with talking about that a little bit ago. If you want to go check it out, basically what it is if you can relay to these guys an exploit that you have found and they can recreate it, they will pay you for finding these exploits. But this right here is just basically showing you everything they have changed from their launch up until right now, when they're getting ready to release into game preview on Xbox One on Wednesday. So it's just basically giving you everything that they've optimized since they started 6 months ago. Well, 8 months ago, my bad. Everything that they optimized in 8 months, which is a lot of stuff. If you actually go back and read all their Steam forums and everything like that, it's very, very long of everything they have optimized. And everything that they're adding in, they've added climbing in, which makes it so much easier now getting around the map. They've added in siege weapons, they've added in traps, like you see right here. Even if people manage to get up into your base, you can set traps. But let's not forget about, that's kind of one-sided, they added in siege weapons a while back to be able to attack without being hurt, like you see the trebuchets there. And I mean, look at the customization right there, all the different items you have. I mean, sorcery, like you've seen those orbs right there, that's more of an alchemy thing, and that will be coming later on. They will be working on the sorcery aspect of this a little bit more. I think they said that to become a sorcerer you have to have a really high level of corruption. So if your choice, if you're wanting to be a sorcerer, you have to deal with your corruption being high. With this update coming, PC players may have already noticed that the PvP Blitz servers were taken down, and they were taken down due to inactivity. There just wasn't enough people using them, so they were taken down and repurposed to be used for other things. And now we know what, because they are adding 5 different types of official servers on once the wipe is done on PC on the 16th, and once we get it, there will be 5 different types of official servers. You will have PvP Fast and PvP Regular. What this is, PvP Fast is like higher, quicker harvest rates and crafting speeds and level progression, and PvP Regular is the opposite of that. You have just your normal stats and crafting and all that. But the thing is, with these 2 servers, there will be a set time for PvP. It will not be PvP 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There will be set times during the day that you can do PvP activity. Now, a lot of you may be like, well, that sucks, I want to play PvP. Don't worry, they have kept you guys in mind. There will be PvP servers that are 24/7, and they are called PvP Mayhem servers. As far as I know, those are just at regular speed, crafting and harvesting, but it is PvP 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no set time. Then the other 2 servers are PvE Fast and PvE Regular. So that is the rundown on the official servers. I don't remember if they said if they're going to be region locked yet. I have sent an email to them asking, and as soon as I find out, I'll let you guys know. Another thing I want to talk about is on to the more stuff that people's been asking like crazy. And even after the dev stream, I still see people asking like crazy. So everybody's been asking for a while now, what about private servers? Will we have to have a second Xbox like in ARK to host a private server, or will we have rentable servers through PC hosting from a third party? And they finally answered everybody yesterday with servers will be rentable through G-Portal. And what this is, and they've integrated it to work off of the console, you will just go to the start menu and it will have an option for going and seeing these prices on these rentable servers. It will take you directly to G-Portal, they've said, and then you can decide from there if you want to rent a server for you and your friends to play on. They have said that there is not an option to use a second Xbox for private server hosting. I don't know if they plan on changing this later or not, because a lot of people have came over from ARK and now they have that second Xbox that will just be sitting there unused. So I don't know if they plan on adding the second console hosting option later. We'll just have to wait and find out. If I hear any different on it, I'll let you guys know as soon as I find out. Price of the game preview when it launches. It has been confirmed from the developers that it will be a $34.99 game, and that is in dollars. I'm not too sure what that comes out to in other currencies. Basically, it's the same price that the other early access or early game preview games have been. They've been around the $30 to $35 mark on most releases. Alright, now for the more adult side, nudity. People have been asking like crazy for weeks, what will be the nudity settings for the early game preview? And this is getting a little bit of controversy right now, and people just aren't looking at it as it's a game that's offered worldwide, not just in one area. And different regions have different rating acceptances, but nudity in Conan Exiles on Xbox One will depend where you are. Nudity is different for each region. The European version was given a rating that will allow full nudity, but the American ESRB rating was given a rating that would only allow partial nudity. That's just how it is. It wasn't a decision made by the game developers, so don't go harassing the game developers on this. They had no decision in this. It was left up to the rating committees of the regions that will be dispersing the game. Something else I have asked the developers, because I'm not sure, the region lock. PC had region lock where you could not play, North America could not play with European and vice versa. I don't know if they've lifted this for the Xbox One version, and actually I have no clue, because like I said, when I played it on PC, I played in the Test Live server by myself or in single player, so I'm not sure how this is working right now on PC. I don't know if it's been lifted. I do know that they do have the ping filter still enabled, which is if your ping is detected at 140 or higher when you're trying to connect to an official server, it will not let you connect. So just remember not to be shooting the customer support all kinds of crap because you can't connect to official servers. Make sure that your ping isn't reaching above 140. They've put this in place to try to control how laggy the servers are and stuff like that. One final thing that I want to kind of go over. I've seen it happening a lot on multiple games. Twitter behavior. Come on, guys. A lot of you guys are great with talking to the developers and not giving them a whole lot of childish bullshit, but then there's some people that instead of reading one or two tweets ahead of what they're getting ready to say and finding their answer, they just go completely ballistic. Remember, when you purchase an early access game, if you read, the developers are not required to give you any kind of customer support. It says so right in the early access thing that the game may not work, but the developers usually still, tweet to you guys, or they still talk and let you know what's happening and that this problem is being taken care of, this problem is being taken care of. So next time somebody has the urge to just go off, remember these guys could just cut communication with us at any time. They don't have to offer us any type of customer support right now in early access. I mean, I understand. I get infuriated too sometimes about certain things, but a lot of what I've been reading from some people is just uncalled for, especially when it has been answered and the person does not see it or doesn't take the time to look for it to see if it's been answered already. It just makes you look bad, especially if the answer pops up right below your tweet like a couple tweets ago. It just shows that you didn't take the time to look. Well, that is all I got for you guys this week. It will be working on putting out some tutorial videos all next week. I will be doing like I said, I will be doing a 24-hour live stream on Twitch. And for the information on that, just go to my Twitter and follow me and turn your notifications on. That way you know when I post that I'm getting ready to do the 24-hour stream. If you guys like this video and want to see more videos like this or tutorial videos, just go down there and destroy that subscribe button. Leave me comments down below. Let me know what kind of material you guys were looking for. If you want more tutorials, certain tutorials, just leave it in the comments down below. I will do my best to get those videos out to you as I see that you want them. So just keep being awesome, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.